What's going on? We are here. Slap News back again. Smack Talk. I don't even know what episode it is. We just keep on coming week after week after week. We're putting in the time. We're following social. We're hitting up the DMs. We're making things happen. You may be in those dog days between Power Slap events, but we're here grinding it out. My man Ding, my man Big Jeeves, what's going on? How's things on the West Coast, the best coast, as we like to say?
Hey man, it's another day in paradise. And what do you mean you don't know what episode it is? It's episode 10, y'all. We fucking made it to episode 10 of Smack Talk.
Is that an anniversary you're supposed to celebrate? We made it to the 10th episode.
It's a big number. Yeah, we're in the double digits. We're big boys now. I can't believe y'all have hung on for 10 weeks so far that we've been doing this. But thank you. Thank you to everybody, man. Episode 10.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to acknowledge the East Coast, bro, because fucking whatever that shit you said about the West Coast is all the way wrong.
Oh, really?
Hey, Kendrick's
East Coast
up right
bus,
now.
brother.
Kendrick's up right now.
Bro. Kendrick versus Drake in a slap fight. That's when we'll talk about them on this fucking show.
Okay.
Till then, fuck those fools.
Awesome. Let's get into it. I mean, there's lots swirling around. We've got a ton of strikers, both new strikers as well as old strikers in Las Vegas. What could all of this mean, guys?
Man, are they on vacation? Do Erica and AJ just happen to join people Power Slap strikers when they're on vacation? Man, it could be a lot going on. It could be a lot. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, last week we talked about it. We know it's been essentially confirmed. They are filming Road to the Title Season 3 right now in Las Vegas. There's not a lot of details out there as who's in, who's not in. I mean, we've seen some stories on social, unfortunately not being able to confirm, exactly, that. You can head over to Discord. You can see some stuff there. People talk rumors of who they think is in, who they think is out. But let's talk about it, Ding. We've seen some posts. Robert Trujillo, right off the bat, at the Durango Casino, we've got AJ, we've got Erica, we've got Austin Turpin. This came from Robert Trujillo's post. What could all this mean, Ding?
I think it's a match, man. They're matchmaking. I think Trujillo's tired of not having competition, and Turpin's teaching him how to gain weight, and I think that these guys are gonna go head to head. Nah, brother. I think you know what? I think excuse me if I butcher this, but I think whoever in the chat that starts with an F, Faplich, I think he's onto something. He's got Crazy Hawaiian and his brother as the main coaches, Turpin Trujillo as assistant coaches. That sounds like it absolutely could be the case. That would be wild because you'd have the brothers coaching. I know what your name is, bro. I can see it. I just can't fucking pronounce it. If you can help me with phonetics, then we might be able to get a little closer.
Us a phonetic breakdown.
Yeah, help me out with some phonetics, bro. I'm American, dog. So, but I appreciate you always being in the chat, brother. You're always here, man. We appreciate you. And I think that you are absolutely onto something.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fairly safe to say Rob and Austin are there. We see Austin in the house on the right-hand side. We see him putting a story up in the pool. There's no way that Austin is there as a competitor. Just couldn't happen, plain and simple. So definitely Austin.
He wouldn't have his phone.
He wouldn't, absolutely.
He wouldn't have his phone. So
absolutely.
There's that. But listen, I'll be real. I didn't know that this was the house. So for those of you watching, if you didn't know this was the house, you're not alone. These two fucking geniuses know the house. Apparently, I don't know if they slept together there or what, but I didn't know that was the house. So good pickup on that.
Yeah,
that pool is very, very familiar. Corey, if you could pop it back up, like now we see pool toys in it. But if you guys remember from season 1, there was someone's mattress floating right there in that pool. So that's what reminded me of. I was like, oh, they're at that same house again. So that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's foreshadowing to what's going to come obviously up in this episode. But then another, infamous moment when Slap Jesus got the boombox. He actually won. Remember that he won the trivia, which they did beside that pool also. So a little bit of force, sighting there.
Ooh,
Austin and Robert there. We've seen always before the coaches lining up, fighting each other on a live event. Seemingly, we have Robert and we have Austin, from two totally separate weight classes, obviously, 50 plus pounds difference there. So unless Austin's teaching Robert how to eat, I don't think we're going to see that matchup anytime soon. But as you talked about, El Perro, his mattress getting in the pool. but they're flexing in each of their stories. We got El Perro, looks like he's driving Austin around. We got Austin mean mugging in there talking about Ronda.
Where's
Keep going
Ronda?
back and forth. So we've got Trujillo, we've got the Mexican in Vegas right now. Is this just a coincidence, or do we think El Perro is also involved?
Well, that's what, 5 people?
Yeah.
Hey, we're just getting started, man. Slap news is slacking. We've seen 5 already.
Yeah, we're only 5 minutes into this bitch too. We haven't even got started yet. But yo, could they? So what got me thinking is, with all these people here and the show just happening to be filmed at the same time, could they have more cameos this time with some more established strikers? Have guys like Azael on, who have great records and have been through some big matches, come and sort of like guest coach for the day, maybe add some sort of excitement to the show. We could see something like that. We could not. It could just be coincidence. Maybe El Perro, he's there for the tacos. I know that's why I go to Vegas, is for the tacos. So
yeah, I mean, hard to say, but I mean, it is road to the title. I don't know. Are we getting a twist? Are we getting some of these veterans that are very close to the top of the rankings that potentially could be doing a prove it or show me fight to potentially lead into a live event? Remember, we talked about before, we said Power Slap number 8 doesn't seem to have any number 1 contenders that are ready. Could we get something of a surprise if they were to drop this series before the next event?
Whoa.
Could we get an Azael, Wesley Drain on season 3? Hey, I'm just saying, could we get something like that? Could we get, I don't know, a Robert Trujillo versus, I don't know, somebody, let's just say Jules Scott, that leads into Emmanuel Munez? Maybe we're going to be getting more in some of the divisions, because we know that now there's a ton of divisions. Obviously, they're trying to push the lightweight division. You know, we've got welterweight, we've got middle, but lightweight, light heavy, super heavy. Obviously, they're not going to have all of those classes represented. So are we sending some of these guys that they may not be focusing on? Last time, it was very heavyweight dominant and super heavy. They gave us some great new blood in both those divisions come from season 2. I don't know. I mean, you definitely could see something there. But let's talk about a couple other guys. I know you kind of said it a little bit earlier, but the Crazy Hawaiian is there. We see Allegiant Stadium in the background. We know he was rumored originally to be one of the original coaches on season 1, potentially with Slap for Cash. That never, came through. But he's back there in Las Vegas. We know he's got family. Is he just back to see the fam, or is he there as part of Power Slap? We haven't seen anything official that he's been at the UFC Apex, been at head office, or anything otherwise. But what do you guys think?
Well, I don't know about that, bro. You know better. You both would know better than me. But there was a photo of him, or it was a small video with him and his brother, and his brother was holding the belt, and they were sitting on what looked like a stool. That to me looked like the Apex. I've only ever been there once, but that looks like the curtains that they use to separate the areas. And the ceilings kind of looks industrial. Like I said, you guys would know better than me, but you said, we haven't seen him in the Apex. I think we did see him in the Apex.
Okay. I must have missed that then.
Yeah, I mean, he is cruising around with the belt, and I know Dane lives there, so he could just be visiting family, but do you bring the belt along with you when you come to visit family in Las Vegas? I don't know.
Bro, you got to represent all day, every day, baby. That's how you get discounts.
Fair.
What do you think? I don't think Manny's taken the belt off his shoulders since, man. I think he shows up to the taco truck with that thing on, bro. Come on.
Listen, that TSA conversation must be so interesting every time these guys are getting on a plane with that belt.
Yeah, they've got to show videos to prove.
Yeah. Like, this is actually me. No, but Corey, to your point about maybe having some of these OGs around and involved, it might not be a bad thing. So we saw the results of Road to the Title 2, and having all these new guys and then having them face the OGs at the number card, it didn't really go so great for them. So maybe having them in the mix and kind of giving guys looks, like you're saying, it might work out for some of these new guys that they get to go against some seasoned talent, and they're maybe not going into a numbered card with a false sense of expectation of what Power Slap really is.
Yeah, I mean, think back to season 2. You had guys like Cody Belial, you had Joe Lamon, who experienced that. They got to bypass round 1 into round 2. So, I mean, if we look at it, a lot of this footage when we see these guys was from the middle of last week. So we're sitting here on Tuesday now, which will be coming into 1 full week into these guys being in the house. We know the taping is approximately 2 weeks long. They try to get 2 fights in some sort of round robin style tournament wherever they can. So, coming in, fast forwarding 1 more week, we could see those veterans getting in there, getting in the house. I thought it was interesting last time on season 2, we didn't see a lot of, the behind the scenes in the house. They really cut a lot of that out. We know the first time season 1, it was an entire month that they filmed. There's 3 or 4 weeks, and they condensed to 2 weeks. We know this is going to be 2 weeks once again. Are they trying to get away from that? Are they just focusing on the fights themselves? Or I wonder if we're going to see, we're getting some big personalities, the Crazy Hawaiian, Austin Turpin, El Perro, who stole the show in season 1 with his drinking. I mean, he's refined his craft now. Yeah. But I mean, these are some guys that, that can talk and can command that camera time. Are they trying to bring in the big guns to get some more entertainment out of the show? I certainly think so.
It wouldn't hurt. That's for sure. We know what, sorry to cut you off, but we know what people want to see. They want to see the excitement. We've seen it with season after season of Tough. How much, like, there's still clips of Wanderlei and Chael Sonnen going at it. You know what I mean? So we know what sells. So hopefully we see some more of that back behind the scenes type thing.
Yeah, I know. I just got to bring Cody Cox up right now in this one because Cody Cox brings up something very interesting. We've seen Amir Nuruddin season 1 and season 2.
Yeah,
he seems to be a last minute fill-in calling guy where you call him on short notice and tell him to get on that Allegiant flight tomorrow to Vegas. He's there on his way. Maybe they upgrade him to Spirit and he's on his way once again. Could we see under God's green earth that Amir Nuruddin makes it back on season 3 and goes for the trifecta? What do you guys think?
I'm putting all my money on yes.
Oh, hey, there we go.
To doubt Amir. He'll show up. Like, that's the thing, Corey. He will show up, and we've seen Amir show up so many times. When you thought you wouldn't see Amir, I'm betting yes.
Okay, dang.
All he's got to do is take a shit to come in at 169.5, so he'll do just fine. I don't know if we see him, but one guy we haven't seen that we were all wondering if we would is KO Chris. If he's in Vegas or not, because I know we wanted to be.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything of KO Chris being in Vegas. But I mean, we did see his meme page. I mean, come on, you guys know it's Slap News.
Which page
you
are we
make
looking
it
at?
when you have a meme page about you.
Yeah. Whoever it is, that's big love, man. To dedicate that much time and effort into a single power slap striker, KO Chris has made it, dog.
100%, boys. Let's talk about the other striker that we see here. We've got the Country Hoodlum. We talked about him last time. We thought, or at least I said, I thought Alan Klingbeil and Country Hoodlum would be a really good matchup. He's tagging that he's in Vegas. I don't know. Obviously he was part of the second season, was one of those guys that we wanted to see a lot from. He's kind of faltered going up against Vern. No easy task, got sat down. Could he be back around again for another spin? What do you guys think? Or is he just trolling us? Anybody?
I like that match, but I don't know if if we're strictly talking road to the title 2 right now, I don't know if Country Hoodlum and what we'd see him. He could just be riding around in Vegas. That's with a lot of these guys, right? Like, there's so many of them in Vegas right now. I can't imagine they're all gonna be on the show. But like, if he is, kudos to him, man. That's a good look for him. It's still early in his career. We haven't seen too much of him. And I don't know if we have that thing, but like he was saying, like, a life story on him would be cool. So maybe there's more to this guy that we need to see,
Yeah, I'm not sure, but one of my employees was down there in Las Vegas this past weekend, windstorm. Apparently the weather was awful. So I don't think you're just going to Vegas right now because it hasn't been so great down there. So I don't know. I think there's definitely some involvement in some of these guys trying to make some things happen. I think we can read through the tea leaves as to what's kind of going on here. And I think I really do think it's a great look, actually, to try to bring some more excitement and bring in some guys that have some personalities.
Sure.
Into it, because, these guys that could be raw, and especially if they're getting a little bit of international talent, some of them that don't necessarily have, the personalities per se, or if English is not their primary language, maybe they need some of these guys to kind of balance it out. And we'll see, because I think, I think we all crave that kind of next great champion to come out of these seasons. We didn't quite get it yet for season 2. I think there's still some great potential and talent, and there are still some future stars that could come from it. But I think from season 7, a lot of them kind of, step back a little bit, from the overall fold of kind of what we were hoping. It could just take time. I mean, the NFL football draft just finished, and it talked a lot, about, quarterbacks and tight ends taking time to, that they need, 2-3 years in the league to get acclimatized to the pro game. Like, are we kind of seeing that a little bit too here, where we need some of these guys to get a little bit more seasons experience before they really make that run up to the ranks? I mean, it's a lot for people. We've seen, like I said, Nate Bernard, even Austin Turpin, getting title shots after 2 matches. Is it a little bit too much, too fast for these guys? It's hard to say, but it makes for good entertainment. And I see you guys popping up some stuff in regards to is Cody Cox going off again? What's going on, Ding?
Cody and Amir going back and forth.
Okay. Amir's in here.
Yeah, Amir came to defend himself as he should.
Oh, is it? Okay. Nice.
No, listen, you bring up a good point with the NFL reference. Like, the draft just happened, and I was actually thinking about this while I was driving the other day. Remember Dana said that they want to do like a slap combine or something? Like, I wonder if that's still on the table for them, because that would go along with what you were just saying, as well as giving these guys experience, getting them in there. Because outside of Road to the Title and the numbered events, it's hard to really get a taste for the sport. You can practice all you want, but until you're put in the situation where you're in a match, you don't really earn those stripes or that experience. So, man, I hope we see something like that outside of or between seasons, something.
Yeah, I mean, hard to say, but anything else going on in that chat that I've been missing, Ding?
Well, the chat seems to be wanting to talk a lot about Slap Jesus, so I think you got something for him.
Really?
On that end.
Oh, I mean, Slap Jesus still holds down the best interview, hands down, ever, as part of Slap News. That is infamous. If you haven't seen it, head over to our YouTube channel.
Oh, please go watch it. Please go watch it.
Interview. We did some of the most gangster work that day, and that interview just stole my heart. So
listen, it was
homage. A new feature we have here on Slap News. Where Are They Now? Featuring Mike Smooth. There we go. We got Mike Smooth getting your lanes for $20. Get $2 well shots and $3 drafts. Mike Smooth is working the bowling alley, boys.
Hey,
check that out. He is gainfully employed. We don't know if it's on the books or not, but it doesn't matter. He is in a public place. Mike Smooth, he is employed.
Yeah,
you look proud. You look like a father.
I'm so happy for him. Like, what a success story. Slap Jesus, coming from the house to getting kicked out of Power Slap to going through his shit, and now gainfully employed at what looks to be a really fun, clean bowling alley. I love it.
Yeah, he's there at the bowling alley making things happen, serving drinks. Obviously, Slap Jesus and drinks probably don't go together. I hope he's not drinking on shift, or else could be interesting. But yeah, he's gainfully employed. And once again, great to see Slap Jesus. Appreciate all you guys that tune into us here at Slap News. We like having some fun. We like talking serious stuff, all around, making it happen. And we know the other feature, the guy who's in the chat, he's going to give me some credit, because one of my favorite features, but it's the Slap News garage sale. Let's talk about it. Amir Nuruddin is selling his Fuji mats. He's got $1, $2, $3 for the price up there. Who knows what it actually is, but Amir is selling his mats. Does that mean his rolling days are done? What do we know? Last time he said he's got to pay his bills, even though he had his caddy up there. Now he's got his mats. What do we think about this? I don't know what the market price is on it, but if it's $123, it sounds like a steal to me.
Hey, man, maybe he's going full-time Power Slap. Maybe, like you said, the rolling days are behind him. No need for the mats no more. He's just here to knock fools out.
Yeah. Hard to say. Ding, what do you think?
I think he's upgrading his home gym because he got better stuff.
Hey, there we go. Where did you get that from?
Bro comes back just for a quick win.
Yeah.
This is why they love you, Ding.
Bro, this is what we do every week. We just wing it. We fake it till we make it, and people believe it.
Yeah.
We're getting called experts now.
Are we? So who's saying that?
Apparently, the so-called experts got it wrong.
Okay. Did they? I think it's funny, and you know what? Like, it's interesting. I mean, what we do here, we're trying to actually make the stories, present the facts, try to find, the silver lining in what is seemingly is a dead time. We talk about things, you may agree, you may not agree, but guess what? We lay it out there and we leave it up to you, the viewers, the listeners of this show, to decide whether you're for, you're against, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. We put it out there. We let you know what we think. McKinney Manu, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, my friend.
As our buddy Goob would say.
Yeah.
So we put it out there. We said.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, man. I was just going to go for it, but you got it.
I was going to say McKinney Manu wanted to know, wanted clarification, I guess. And we put it out there. Does he deserve the crazy Hawaiian next? And guess what? It was a dead even 50-50 poll on our story for 24 hours. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it again. I mean, this is actually validation of why we brought it up in the first place, because it is split down the middle, whether he deserves it or not. So he's getting what he wants, McKinney. We're talking about you. You're back in center. What does it mean? What do you guys think?
I mean, 50-50 is really cool on its own, right? But when you factor in the virality that he brought up and this and that, I thought it would have been an outright landslide in favor of him winning that poll. But hey, man, 50-50s, you got to see it for what it is, bro. That, like, there are people outside of us that, like, feel the same way. Like, you got to earn your stripes. The Crazy Hawaiian's a big name in power slap, like not just power slap, and slap fighting in general. And if you're gonna want those matches, bro, like you gotta have that resume with you.
Yeah, I mean, there's 50% of the people that do want to see it, so he did, he got on his story, he promoted it, and you know what, his people showed up and also voted. So he's right there. Obviously, I mean, you're in the top 5 in power slap. You're a good slap. You're a good fighter. We're not taking away from anything, as regards to that. We hold that championship, aura in very high regard. And we look at the lineage. We look at how it sets up. As Ding, can attest to even more in MMA. It's like, how hot, how relevant, where are you right now? What are you doing? What do the fans want to see to be able to line you up for it? Right now, it seems to be a dead split. So there's people on one side that want to see it. There's other people on the other side that don't want to see it. Ding, I know you're more of the analysis guy from the MMA world. Anything you can add into this topic right now?
I mean, listen, what it comes down to is I think that sometimes the inclination is if you're the subject of discussion and what we're saying doesn't align with what you believe, or it maybe isn't the best case scenario for you in your purview, then automatically you disagree. We're not saying you're not a contender. We never said that. We never said you didn't deserve to get a shot, in general. But I think the key here is that you only get a certain amount of title shots. You can't just keep coming up short and it just continue to happen. It doesn't work that way. This is only going to get deeper. There's only going to be more strikers. And so if you fumble that opportunity because you're too young in the game, you just took a notch off your belt. Now you're maybe one less, right? Because you look at somebody like Isaiah, who's incredibly talented, has shown a lot of growth, but he's lost 2 title shots now. How many more does he get, right? I don't think he gets that many more, just for a lot of different reasons. At some point, you have to make a decision. You got to say, he can't be John Davis. If, let's say, he gets a title shot and he loses, not saying that he would, but if he did get a 3rd title shot, he loses. How do you justify a 4th fight? It just doesn't make sense for the story. It doesn't make sense for things to propel, to move forward. He lost to the same guy 3 times. He's got to figure out either he moves up, he moves down, or he, becomes the gatekeeper. I only use him as an example because he's the one who's gotten 2 title shots that lost both times. Turpin wouldn't be a good one because this last one had a lot of weird stuff go on. But so if you get into that fight, you fight the Crazy Hawaiian, you make some mistakes, you lose, then you go on stage, you say, oh yeah, actually I lost because I need more experience. I'm new, I'm still learning. Great, but you just took away one of your title shots out of all the ones you're ever going to get. Would it have been worth it to fight a couple more times just to be ready? So we're not necessarily saying it in a negative way. We're just saying in general, for the prosperity of everything, the sport, all of it. And also I'd like to point out, we would never ever profess to be experts. We think we know some stuff for sure, but I would never sit here and try to be like an arrogant prick and say, hey, we're experts on it. I mean, of course not. We're all just giving opinions. Even strikers are giving their opinions on other strikers and what they think works, what they don't. Like, we're all trying to figure this out. So to all the strikers, man, we love you guys. We're here to support you. We do this show every week to talk about you guys. Like, it's not about us, it's about you guys. So I hope you guys would see that. Like, we're not trying to hurt nobody, except Jeeves. Jeeves sometimes.
Now, listen, to your point of us not being experts, Power Slap 7 really made me question everything I think I know about this sport. The way that event went, like there's people in the media room that can. I walked back there after the event. I looked at a bunch of people. I said, I know nothing. I know nothing about this sport because, like, come event day, you know nothing. That match might go completely different than what you're expecting it to do. So to be an expert in this space, man, I want to see your betting slips.
Yeah, I hear you. But let's talk about, I mean, as you alluded to, we don't have it, but the Crazy Hawaiian's story had a picture with his brother holding the belt. And he was saying that you have to go through my brother to get to me. What do we think of that? His brother, the Hawaiian Hitman, and Makini Manu as a number 1 contender match. We against that.
I like that night and day better than Makini going straight for the title.
There we go.
Yeah, we do what we can with what we got, boys.
Yeah.
Does that look like the Apex or what? The black curtain?
I'm not sure. It's hard to tell.
It could be a lot of places. Yeah. Those are like standard hospitality curtains. But I like I said, Corey, like we were saying with the Makini Manu and the Hitman, I like that one night and day better. Number 1, Makini gets to earn his stripes. And we know that if he can beat a guy like Dane, he's ready for that title shot. Because as of right now, Makini's one showing on a number card, it was a win. Of course, a win's a win, but it was because of the disqualification that he won his fight. So I'd like to see a definitive answer to, can Makini make it happen?
Yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense. I actually hope we get to see it. And we'll go from there. I mean, we haven't talked about Danny Van Heerden, obviously sitting there in the wings also. But, Makini winning definitely gets it. Hey,
quick thing. I know we talked about this briefly. We've done the whole, looking into the future and Abu Dhabi. I'll pose this question to you boys. UFC is actually going to Abu Dhabi for a fight night on August 3rd. We really don't see fight nights get paired up with Power Slap, but I'm just saying that's near. What do you guys think?
Well, we've seen fight nights in the same weekend as Power Slap, like when they're at the Apex, so possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit soon, but we know that they're working really hard to get international, to get to Abu Dhabi as quickly as we can. We don't know for sure, but I believe there was some rumors swirling that Abu Dhabi did approve slap fighting, or is on the prefaces of being approved in Abu Dhabi. So big news if that is the case, that is actually happening. It could happen later. We know we're putting the pieces together. We know that the strikers on the Power Slap roster received emails that they should get their applications in for their passports before May 1st. So that deadline is passed. We know it typically takes 4 to 6 months in the US to get a passport. So project that out. August might be a little bit early, kind of lines up for October perfectly. But is it a race to be first, or is it a race to be proper? I guess is the question that we always kind of look at and we ask, because Jeeves brought something to our attention this past week that was interesting. Jeeves,
Yes.
what did I do?
Well, we know that there's a SFC faction out the European way, and looks like they're going to be doing an event in the UAE, and they got Eddie Hall to be the main presenter of this. He's the biggest cosign we've seen for a slap fighting event outside of North America. I don't think we've seen anyone put their name to a power slap event. Like, I know we see a lot of celebrities, this and that, but Eddie Hall is a force to be reckoned with. Like, a few weeks ago, we saw him set the world record on the power cube at the PI. Him and Brian Shaw were there. So I don't know if this is all related in some way, but I think SFC Slap Fight Championship doing this event with Eddie Hall is going to bring a lot of eyes. And that organization, like, they have legends like Zales and stuff over there. So we've seen these guys go viral over the years coming up. So I'm excited for this one. The 25th of May, it's coming up real quick.
Yes, let me just clarify. It's Slap Fighting Championship.
Yes.
No affiliation with the American Slap Fight Championship. Two different organizations. You know, we caught on to it very, very early. We were told it didn't mean a whole lot, but we did see that Power Slap was featuring old content from SFC, Slap Fighting Championship, on their YouTube channel. A lot of the older content. As you say, in here, it is relating to legends like Zale being at this particular event, which I thought was very interesting. So, you know, going to Abu Dhabi, they're calling it SFC. You know, it's going to be interesting. It's coming up fast. I mean, there's not a lot of information out about it. The 25th, we're at the 7th right now. So, I mean, I don't know. What does that put? 2.5 weeks away? The plan of the event. We don't know who's fighting on the card. We don't seemingly have too much info around it, but it could be a race to get into that market and see the growth of it. Obviously, we don't know, but we've heard rumors that it has been approved and that this event will be sanctioned. So we are kind of seeing things evolve. We're seeing things happen. You know, could this be another way that we start seeing more and more talent come to us in the forefront? I think it's great.
This is a sport built on competition, so all competition's good. And, you know, I'm going to foreshadow a little bit. Like, I don't know anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of these Slap Fighting Championship guys maybe start making some crossovers. Because, like I said, Eddie Hall, he has been in the sphere with the UFC. They were, like I said, they've been at the Apex. We've seen Power Slap feature some of this SFC stuff in the past, like you said, Corey. So could this all be leading to an amalgamation of international talent and Power Slap and SFC seeing themselves see something? I don't know. It could be cool, but having Eddie Hall attached to this, I think, is huge for the sport in general to raise the status and the eyes to this sport at this moment right now, with all the hard work that Power Slap's done to regulate and this and that. This is a cool next launching point for the sport, I think.
Yeah. So we'll see. All right, boys, let's wrap it up. Appreciate it, as always, everyone who stuck around. We're 10 episodes in to another 10, boys. Let's keep on rocking. Until next time.
Take care.